women love reassurance. Like
sister to therapist.
like reassurance. He reassured her that he was the complete leg. There's no second one.
There's no second leg. No.
Nothing is dropping.
Was still the kind of guys that she was now attracting. She was avoiding Igbo men. She was avoiding titled men. She was avoiding men with accents and all of those and affluence. She was avoiding men that had money.
Right.
But what was happening? She was now sponsoring the opposite. Men that would disappoint her, that were using her as the money bag. She was now like the sugar mommy and all of those things. And those were not the kind of men that she needed in her life or that she wanted. But her trauma was attracting those kind of men to her. So it's important that you heal. Hello guys, welcome to Soule Haven, a safe place where mental health, family and relationship dysfunctions are addressed. And as you can see, I'm not alone in this episode. I have here with me my younger sister. I have to stress on that. I have my younger sister Sylvia. She is a travel and educationalist.
Oh my God.
She's a travel and
educational consultant.
Good. So anything study abroad and all of those, this is your sure bet. Okay, so today we are going to be reviewing the most interesting, I would say. This movie has been trending. It is everywhere. Odogwu. Okay, so we are going to be reviewing the movie Love in Every Word. And you know how we do it here, right? It's always the best. We're giving you the best review. I'm going to be talking from the standpoint of a psychotherapist, and I'm going to be focusing on trauma. How trauma can make us lose out from things that are good for us. How trauma can affect us if we don't heal from it. But before we jump into the trauma and all of those stories, I mean, it would be nice to dissect one or two things. I'm going to stress on that, right? But let's talk about some things that stood out for us in this movie. So let me hear from you, Tovia.
Okay, first of all, my advice to every forex trader out there. Please, don't use emotions to trade. Just look at what that guy did. You blew an account of $5,000 and you're looking for extra $2,000. You're a thief.
Oh, that's
you are a criminal. Like he said, the trade did not go as planned, so I kept increasing. And I'm like, guy, do you even know the basics of forex trading? Please, if you're a trader in the house, don't use emotions to trade. So you don't need someone's house, it's only your boxers are saying it.
Man, that was wild. I'm not even going to lie. Like, literally, you have, no. Like, where is your pride? But anyways, let's do that. That's on one side, right? I mean, he's not the subject of the matter. The subject of the matter is Odogwu. Okay, but really, one thing I love about this movie is the storyline. It actually painted the fact that there are still men who are well-meaning for their women. I mean, I posted something on my status after seeing this movie, and what I posted was that this movie has brought this special trait of Igbo men, right, to the spotlight. So if you have a good, God-fearing Igbo man,
hold him tight,
right? I mean, they have this beautiful trait of being able to take care of their women, and not just in marriage, from courtship to
exactly.
And not every one of them will, so I'm not generalizing. There's some other persons from other tribes too that know how to do this, but it's kind of particular and peculiar to the Igbo
tribe. Yeah,
exactly. So I love the fact that Omoni Oboli painted the narrative that yes, there are still beautiful relationships out there. There are still well-meaning men out there, right? Because I mean, a lot of movies and stories, rubbish on the internet have just put out narrative of, oh, relationship is calm and all of those rubbish. But I mean, seeing this movie, I'm sure a lot of you would attest that your heart was turned in a way. I mean, if you've given up on relationship before, seeing this movie, something will just come up in you, like a fire will light up in you, like maybe I can give relationship another chance. That's on one side. Another thing also that this movie revealed is that women, we are feminine and we are soft people. And when I mean soft, I want you to understand where I'm coming from. Every woman knows what they want, right? Especially when they see some specific traits in a guy. Traits like confidence, authenticity,
talk and do,
assertiveness, sense of security, a man that is able to provide and protect, right? That can help you stand for yourself and stand for you, defend you. I mean, see the way he addressed our boss.
Spoken. Oh my God.
well, I mean, soft spoken, that knows how to speak to his woman, and all of those things, right? I mean, those are beautiful traits that ladies look out for in men. If you're a guy watching this thing, don't come and ask me what of the traits that men look out for in ladies. Go and check for yourself. When they exactly go and shoot your film, when they shoot that one, then we'll talk about it, we'll review it, or trust us to review it. Moving on, let me hear from you. Is there any other highlight for you from the movie too? There's something that stood out for you from this movie?
Okay, something that stood out for me was the way the guy came back. So, you know, some men, they have this pride. With everything that happened, they want to just, okay, oh, she's withdrawing. I mean, let me find my way and everything. She's not the only lady and everything.
Yeah.
But then he came back. He was angry, but then he came back
with a ring,
like exactly with a ring and everything. And he was open to listening.
Yeah.
When the friends approached him and told him, oh, this is what's causing it, he understood. He was able to empathize with her, put himself in her place, and say, okay, so this is how she's feeling, and then reassure her. Women love reassurance. Like
sister to therapist.
Like reassurance. He reassured her that he was the complete leg. He said, second one, my
no
God.
Second leg, no.
Nothing is dropping.
He said no fear.
No
He said no prayer. No. There is no other pen somewhere else.
Exactly. Nothing is dropping. That reassurance, everything still helped her. And it also helped her because when she was not making the final decision, it was easy to know that this guy stuck along. He was with her. There was no point where she withdrew and the guy said, okay, because she has withdrawn, me too now, no level, no send again and everything. No, he was there. And that really, another thing that stood out, this guy was angry, but he was not mean. See, separate anger, separate the emotion from the person. Like he was able to separate it. He knew that, okay, what this girl said, it was quite insultive and everything to his person, but then he did not allow it influence the way he reacted towards
his
her
behavior.
Yes,
he was not aggressive.
Exactly, he was not aggressive. He even gave her the gift. Some men, that gift he got for her. It will stay in the car. It will stay in the back seat. When they go home, he brought it out and he gave it to her. She even had to ask him, why are you still being nice to me? Because that's outstanding. I didn't give it to him. That was outstanding.
Exactly. He knew what he wanted. As if he had seen a vision of the end.
He told her now that when I saw you, I knew you were gonna be my wife.
For me, he said, I know I will get married to you.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to guide it to the end.
Guiding your game.
I'm like a man that knows what he wants, right? So irrespective of all the things that she was putting out, somehow he just knew that this is my wife, right?
Exactly.
So he was patient with her. Now, I think from the second time Chioma started acting strange, right? I mean, the first time she was like, oh, she does not like his accent and all of those, and they came back together.
Yeah,
then the second time she started acting strange again, and she could not really tell what was going on. At that point, coming from my standpoint as a psychotherapist, I began to suspect that there was something wrong, that there was a trauma that she was yet to deal with. And initially, I thought it was maybe past relationship, but the movie revealed to us that she had a childhood trauma that she needed to deal with. And that is one thing about trauma. If it is not dealt with, it can show up in your life, it can show up in your relationships unannounced. Now, trauma, if not dealt with, can rob you of good things. Do you know why? Because it's like putting on a lens that is dirty. That's what trauma does, right? When we experience traumatic events and we don't heal from it, a new lens comes upon our eyes. So we begin to see things from a different perspective, and we might begin to lose out from things that are even good. Why? Because your brain is interpreting that thing as harmful due to what has happened before. Chioma almost lost this beautiful relationship because of what has happened in the past. So seeing this guy, Obiora, where he speaks, the way he dressed as a chief, a titled man, and all of those, his affluence, his riches. I mean, these were like good things in quotes, right? But it reminded her of something that had happened to her in the past, which was how her dad had all of these qualities but lied to his mom, cheated on his mom, and lied to her. Like, she felt betrayed, the news went viral and all of those things. She felt really hurt. That was a traumatic event that she experienced while she was a child, right? And we call those things childhood trauma. And it was as if it was going to replay, and that's why she could not really hold on to something, but something was not just right. She felt that somehow he's going to bring out a dirty character in the future. Something is going to come out, and that's how trauma works. When we experience traumatic events, this is how the brain works. It begins to interpret most things as negative, or begins to suggest negative thoughts to us, and the more we keep believing these negative thoughts, we begin to interpret things that way. For example, Obiora came clean. This is who he was, right? He had nothing to hide according to the storyline. But somehow she felt that there was a skeleton in the cupboard, or there was something bad that would come because of what has happened to her in the past. She had a negative perception towards him, even though he was not guilty. Another thing trauma does is, most times when we experience hurtful events, we think that we are able to guide ourselves in a particular way without getting proper healing and make better decisions. But unknowingly for us, you would see that you now begin to attract the same thing that hurts you. For example, yes, her dad hurt her, dad lied to her and all of those while she was a child. But still the kind of guys that she was now attracting. She was avoiding Igbo men, she was avoiding titled men, she was avoiding men with accents and all of those and affluence. She was avoiding men that had money. But what was happening? She was now sponsoring the opposite. Men that would disappoint her, that were using her as the money bag. She was now like the sugar mommy and all of those things. And those were not the kind of men that she needed in her life or that she wanted. But her trauma was attracting those kind of men to her. So it's important that you heal, and one of the best ways to do that is reach out to a professional therapist that will guide you. So yes, this movie ended at the point where her friends and her were able to uncover that this is the reason why you're behaving this way, but it should not end there for you. Yes, you might be able to uncover that, okay, this is why I'm acting this way, this is the particular trauma that I experienced that is making me behave this way, but it does not stop there. I think maybe if this movie was to continue, she would probably have spoken to a therapist, because yes, she has told him that these are her fears, this is why she was holding back. But when they get married, if she does not deal with this thing properly, she would still subconsciously put up some acts that might repel their relationship. So it's important that beyond discovering that this is the trauma that happened to me, you see a professional therapist and talk about this thing. They will help you identify the negative thoughts and perceptions that you have built over time in response to this trauma, right? So you can begin to dispute them and replace them with the right thoughts. Otherwise, you would be acting in a certain way that would not be helpful. One thing I always say in therapy is that we look at the past to be able to explain or understand the present better. Do you get? So for everything that is happening in the present, the past gives us a better understanding of that is happening. And that's something that played out for Chioma, her friends. Thank God for good friends.
I mean, it knew her way back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how many of us can still count friends that, since your childhood up until, we still have those friends, right? It's another beautiful thing that Omoni put out. The sense that you can have good friendships that can stretch for years. A friend since primary school that still remembers all of those, and even the one she met in the university, and how these two friends that did not meet at the same point, they were now close, the three of them. Beautiful friendships and all of those. But that is to say about Love in Every Word. This movie, if you've not seen it, please go and if you're in a relationship, somehow it will spice up your relationship, it will make you want to do better. And if you've noticed you've been giving off some kind of negative vibes or energy in your relationship, but you don't understand why, maybe this movie will open your eye to a certain trauma you had experienced before that is making you act that way. But please, it should not end there. See a therapist. There is nothing wrong in seeing a therapist. People are making their lives better by seeing therapists. Do you have any other thing to say?
Trauma will keep you in a place where you will be in bad spots, but you will not be able to move out of it because you feel it's something you can control. So that was what was happening with her while she was dating the other guy. This guy, it was clear. She knew that this guy, her mom knew that this guy is nothing to write home about. Like, he was shameless. He was. But then she couldn't let him go because she felt it was something she could control. Like, okay, I know this one will always fall back to me and everything. I'll always be able to help him and just put up with him and everything. And she also mentioned it to Obiora when she told him that this is new to me, this is strange. I'm not used to receiving all of these things.
All of those,
I'm the one that normally gives out and everything. So me seeing someone that is just all the attention is on me and everything. And that was because of her trauma. Trauma was what was making her just stay there, like move. You know when something bad happened and something good has come and you cannot take that thing good Like you can't even
trauma
accept
does
it
that. Trauma
because
does
of your past
that.
and all.
I
And
mean, trauma can do and undo.
Exactly.
Like the things that trauma can make you do, when you heal and months and years after you look back, you'll be wondering like, was I the one doing all these things? Was I the one making these decisions? Trauma can do and
trauma can
undo.
act like your village people. You'll be blaming village people.
Meanwhile,
you are your village people.
Meanwhile, it's your trauma. Exactly. I'm going to give kudos to Omoni also in this movie, because I'm someone that's like a minimalist. I love romance comedy. I love romance movies, right? But in especially, I just love romance, like okay, concept of love. But not the one that, I mean, nowadays you can't just see a movie and you, even if they want to talk about sex scene, they would display it and all of those. But this movie, I mean, the highest was the kiss, even though that Christian values, I mean, cutting, dating, no, but that was just the highest. You're able to watch and say, okay, without your mind being called. I'm going to give her kudos to that, and we'll still call it a romance movie. It was an interesting one. So that brings us to the end of this review. So if you want to be seeing Tovia in my videos, just comment below, right? Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and share with your loved ones so they will understand how trauma works. You don't want to be in a relationship with someone that does not understand this thing and is acting in response to their trauma and making things difficult for themselves and everybody around them. Till we meet again, I remain your talk therapist, and this is Tovia.
Thanks for watching.